Check. 1, 2. All right. Be with you in a sec. Here we go. And we're going live in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Hey, we're going live in a couple of minutes here. It is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Do me a favor if you would. If you would check in, let us know who you are, where you're deplorable from. Now's a good time. Very important show coming up in just a couple of moments. I'm going to be talking with a guy who I haven't talked to since I was a junior in high school. And he was a superstar. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But he was at the concert in Vegas. And his girlfriend is here. We're going to talk to them and find out the truth. What happened? What in the world happened from somebody that was there? So we're going to talk to Kelly Johnson coming up in just a couple of moments. So if you would please check in. Let us know who you are, where you're checking in from, and let Facebook catch up here for a second. Jason's checked in, and other folks have too. We're going to go live in a few seconds here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now, he's unleashed. The American Insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries Rebellion Radio.
Well, hello, my brother from another mother. How you doing? My sister from another mister. How you doing? Welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered today by DerMend. We are also powered by the Zona Plus. And another great new sponsor I'll tell you about in just a couple of minutes as well. A lot going on today. It's yesterday, as you know, I was in Las Vegas, and it was a sad, sad day, a terrible story. And I got a Facebook message from a guy I haven't talked to since I was in like high school. Now, let me put something in perspective before we get going. As you know, if you followed my career, and this guy hasn't, I know presidents, congressmen, senators, sports athletes, the biggest actors in the world, it doesn't matter. But this guy was the best football player I ever saw. Okay? I'm talking ever. Now, this guy, here's how it worked in Little League football. You couldn't touch this guy. And I still remember what they used to say. They used to say, Kelly Johnson, he don't run with his legs, he runs with his eyes. And I still think about that when I play video games. Oh, yeah, run with your eyes, run with your eyes. That's what Kelly Johnson was like. And the way it worked in Little League is that he would play every single down, and I would get 2 downs a game. Just to give you an idea of who was better, because it wasn't me. Anyway, his name's Kelly Johnson, and he's a good dude, and it's an honor to have him on the program. I just wish it wasn't for this reason. Kelly, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. How are you doing?
Well, Rusty, I'd like to say that I'm doing well, but, just grateful I'm alive today.
Let's talk about why. You were in Las Vegas the other night, weren't you?
Yes, Samantha and my other friend Chris and me, all three of us, we came down from Spokane to do this Route 91 Country Music Festival for the first time. And it was an awesome festival until this thing happened.
Okay, let's talk. So you're going to the show. Did you go? Were you there for like 3 days? Is that what the festival was?
Yes, 3 days.
3 days. So you were there all 3 days. So, by the way, Samantha, how are you?
I'm surviving.
Yeah. Did you, by the way, know that he was the greatest football player I ever saw?
No, that was new information. Thank you.
He was great. All right, so have you ever been to a concert festival like this before?
Yeah, we had done Watershed in the past.
Okay. So nothing
similar.
different. It was just, I mean, you love concerts and you just want to go to one and see you're big country music fans, I'm guessing.
Right.
Right. So
A
you're,
lot of, I was going to say it's a lot of country music singers in a 3-day time frame. So rather than paying for one, you get a big group of country singers that you can enjoy their music with.
right. Is it expensive to go to something like that?
Was $265 for 3 full days, and you're getting like 18 different acts, so it's worth the money.
Yeah, that's a sweet deal. Okay, so the first 3 days. I mean, the first 2. I mean, up until the event, up until the problem, everything was great, right? There was no problems.
Right. We had actually gone, the 3 of us have birthdays in a 1-week period. So we had decided on this festival and then some other things that we were going to do after. So we had taken the whole 10 days to do. First 3 days were going to be the festival, and then the 7 days after were going to be other things that we had planned.
Okay, so you go to the festival, and up until the moment, nothing out of the ordinary at all, right?
Nothing, but the moment that it was everyone assuming there was just firecrackers going on.
Is that what you thought? Okay, where were you in the end? We've seen the whole thing. The stage was there. It's kind of a big area. I was there yesterday. Where were you?
We were on the right hand of the stage, and because I played football, I'm saying 25, 30 yards from the stage to the right, not in the center, but we were on the AstroTurf.
Okay.
And we were shoulder to shoulder with other people, concert goers, and it wasn't like packed like sardines like some of the shows I've gone to, but it was shoulder to shoulder. And Jason Aldean was just hitting his songs like normal and getting that place all energized. And then there was this sound off to the right of the front of the stage like firecrackers, but there was no smoke and nobody moved. So it was like, what is this? But nothing, concerning, so we just continued to listen to music. And then there was a second small little spurts of fireworks, and we're assuming today that was when he was blowing out the windows. He was shooting out the window and then moved to his next spot, shot out the window.
Okay.
And then right after that second fireworks, there was just an unreal sound of automatic bullets firing, and they told us that he had 100-round clips, and he had his gun set up to go extra fat. I'm not a firearm guru, but it was not normal, and we all hit the ground.
So you knew, right? You knew pretty quickly that it wasn't really fireworks. No.
Well, the initial one that was like the 9 seconds of a firework sound, we were like, who would set off fireworks at a big event like this? Probably not a smart thing to do.
Okay.
We all remember thinking that to ourselves, saying it out loud. And then there was probably a 30-second delay, and we're not sure if it was him hitting that 9-second firework sound initial, was him hitting out the windows, or him sighting in or honing in on where he was actually going to start shooting at us.
Okay.
And so that second, between the 9-second firework and the next round, it was probably a good 30 seconds or more that you can watch even on the video. It wasn't right away. And then when we started hearing it, we're like, okay, wait, that's not fireworks. And it does take everybody a few seconds before they're down, like just recognizing that it is actually a machine gun or whatever he was using going off.
And keep in mind, Rusty, we all, no, I shouldn't say we, but pretty much the majority, we assumed this was coming from street level.
Right.
We're thinking drive-by car, human being, street level.
Oh.
Who would have fathomed coming from a hotel 500 yards away, 32 floors up? So we hit the ground.
And it sounded like it was street level.
Wow.
And also, Aldean was still playing while the first round was going off. So in addition to the machine gun, you're listening to him still play for a few seconds, because he was still singing for quite a few seconds.
Right, he was trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden he turned and ran. Although I kind of wish he would have said, hey, there's something really wrong, guys, hit the deck or something. He just kind of ran.
Well, he ran, and then the lights came on, which kind of put us in a bad point and a good point. At least we could see when we did run, sort of. But in addition, it gave him a line of sight for all of us. We were all just hitting targets, although at that point we didn't know that. Again, we thought it was all coming from the strip.
So you hit the ground. Connie's asking, why'd you hit the ground? You hit the ground because you thought it was street level. You thought it was
street level coming from Las Vegas Boulevard.
And everybody around was encouraging me to hit the ground.
Right.
And Sam here, she was encouraging me to get down, and that was the right move to make. Everyone got down.
At that point, it was because there was a massive crowd. You're talking on that side of the venue. There was probably, 2/3 at least, half of you've got the VIP section was over there.
Right.
The other open area was there as well. So you've got quite a bit of people there. So you have this large crowd, and where the heck is everyone going to go other than running into each other? There was some people that were going to try and climb over us, and some of us just kind of held on to them at that point until we could figure out where the bullets were coming from.
Okay.
And then,
yeah, well, let's go
100 shot round. We're laying down a pause, and during the pauses, we're planning our next move. I mean, we're not thinking straight. We don't know we've never been in these situations.
I mean, do you have military training at all, Kelly?
Heck no.
Yeah.
Our friend did that was with us.
That's right. Chris had military training.
What do you do for a living now?
I'm in a cardiac intensive care nurse in Spokane.
Nice. Okay.
Awesome. And Samantha is a nurse in Spokane too.
Okay.
And Chris Schreiner, who's with us, she's also a nurse.
Okay, so you have medical training, which is good, but not military training. You don't. I mean, bullets, man. I mean, it's not like one or two. This is going. It's insane. You don't know what you're thinking, right? You don't know what to do.
No, these rounds are going off, and literally you're just praying that you're just waiting for it to hit you. You're really just hoping that it hits you somewhere so you can still move, so you can still run, that your injuries are not as bad as, death. So literally you're really just praying that.
That's what I was trying to get at is during these pauses, we were planning our next move, and then a next round, we didn't know how many, but they're saying 100, and it makes sense. Bullets flying. We're laying there just waiting, praying, waiting for them to hit us, and it didn't. And then the next pause, we made a decision, okay, we're going to go on the very next pause, but then another round of fire came, and that's when we were like, it's got to get us. It's got to hit us.
God.
We got to be next. I mean, we're right there.
Did you see people getting hit?
Didn't see yet. On the next pause, Sam said, let's go. I grabbed her hand. She grabbed Chris's hand. And the three of us, and Chris being military, she said, stay low, stay down, crawl. We crawled and crawled. And that's when, within 10 feet, there was just carnage. There was bodies. There was blood. And we knew now that this is getting even more real. And we were moving. We were trying to get away because we were running out of time. We knew we were going to get hit next. And then he started firing. So right off down the middle of the concert venue, the floor, there is this barrier that they have all the cables running down and a wall where people standing. Well, off the end of that, going away from the stage, was vendors who sold alcohol. And that was our plan, was to get to that and get away from the stage. And we started firing. We dove over because it was a standing bar, dove over the bar. The girls went under, and on the other side was bodies, but they were all alive.
Okay.
And we hid, and then more fire came, more bullets came.
And at that point, Kelly was starting to look to see if we could knock the wall down that they had that partition, and it wasn't moving. So while the rounds are going off the next pause, he's trying to see if it'll move. It won't move, so we're like, okay. And at this point, we weren't sure if there was shooters in the venue. Literally, it sounded like there was 10 people just shooting up the place. It didn't sound like one guy shooting from the roof kind of thing. It sounded like there was...
That was something I was going to ask, because there's been a lot of conspiracy theories that there was more than one guy, that there was somebody that was there on the ground. What do you think when you hear things like that? Is it still possible, or do you think that's just crazy? It was just this one guy.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
It's I concur with the police officers, the FBI, and their investigation. If it was ground level, now that I think about it, the tarps that covered the fencing around would have been ripped open to shreds. Okay, if you're shooting through the fencing, the tarp, the tarps would be broken open or something. We didn't see that, and
but I wasn't sure too if they were shooting them at the entrance.
The whole time we're still thinking these shots are coming from ground level. We don't know where they're coming from.
Right.
Behind the counter, after when he was shooting, I was looking up at the wall, seeing if the bullets are hitting there, so I can get some kind of idea where he's coming from. And the whole time, I'm holding Sam's hand. Sam's holding Chris' hand. We're calming each other down. There was some panic.
All of us.
I bet.
And then we were just planning our next move. Our next move was because we were timing his pauses. We knew his pauses had significant amount of time for us to move. We were smart enough to study his pauses.
What did you figure out with the pauses? What did you surmise from those?
Probably had
switching clip
10 to 12 seconds to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if I calculated the precise number. We had enough time to get somewhere, and we didn't know where we were going next.
Okay.
And that's what happened. We got up, hand in hand, and ran away from the stage, got around behind this vendor's partition, and he started shooting again in front of towards the entrance, and his bullets were flying off the pavement. And this is where I got separated from Sam and Chris because I got trampled.
We all got separated. We were hand in hand, but so were other groups, and we maybe just didn't have a strong enough grip. So.
Got trampled.
Oh, my God.
Her hand was ripped out of mine, and
we lost Chris.
By the time I recovered, I jumped over another something and landed in where they sell Budweiser beer, and the next pause, all I could do was, where's Sam? Where's Chris? And I didn't know where they were. And I'm shoeless now because they ripped my shoe off of this trampede, so this is where I got separated.
How'd they rip your shoes off? Just because everybody's running around?
No, when they stepped on me,
people were just
my shoes were just slip-on, so I lost one of my shoe, and then they knocked me to the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
And this is where Sam was able to find Chris, so I'll let Sam tell you what her and Chris did, and what I did is when there was the next pause, I continued out of the festival through the gate into a parking lot and jumped into the back of a truck.
Oh my gosh.
Still wondering, where's Chris? Where's Samantha? Had no answers. And I'll let her tell her when we got separated what they
Samantha,
did.
what happened? What did you see, Samantha? What happened to you?
So when the second round started, we all got separated. When the second round started, again, people were pushing, and I turned back around to see if I could see Chris, because Kelly got trampled, which I didn't realize, so he was off in one direction. Chris was at least behind me, and thank God she's tall, because I could see her behind two groups of people kind of thing, and I'm yelling at her, let's go, let's go. The rounds are going off. We jump behind this area that had a whole bunch of people behind it as well. We've got a table in front of us. We've got a partition behind us again, but this table was actually blockading us from the front part. When we got inside of this area, again, we're seeing people that are bloodied up. We're checking to make sure if anybody needed immediate help, because people were kind of running into this area. It was kind of open, but we were blockaded. It's hard to describe, but nonetheless, we were just making sure that no one needed immediate help at this point.
So you your nursing training started kicking in, your medical training.
No, I do have to say that the nursing kicks in off and on, but first and foremost, at this point, it is a run for your life. So I am happy to save anybody's life when I am in a situation where I have the capacity to do that, and this was obviously not a situation for that.
So at this point, you're still totally freaking out.
not necessarily freaking out, but this was a save your life kind of situation, and I wouldn't say that no one else's life was not important to me at that point, but it was the importance for me at this point was to just get out alive. So whatever it took, I wasn't going to hurt anybody, but I'm just saying, like, whatever it took to get out, I was not looking to help anybody or see if anyone was okay while I was being shot at, if that makes sense. So
did you see, now they say 500 people were injured. I don't know how many of those were injured by bullet. I mean, when you hear from what you guys are talking about, you know, a lot of it may come from stampedes and stuff. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
When we were running from the asphalt area to the first area that we hid in, there was definitely bodies laying around that we were either climbing over, jumping over, and I'm not sure if they were still in the I'm going to lay here and wait till this passes kind of thing, play dead, or if they were already gone. There was obviously blood in different areas. There were some people that were that had fallen that we had tripped over that were getting stampeded.
I hate to ask this question, but I know everybody is wondering. I mean, did you see anyone get killed?
There were everyone that was down on the ground bleeding and in trouble was being helped. So they were already being helped. We didn't run by people that were just laying there begging for help. Everyone was already being helped.
I mean, because in my mind of this stuff, I mean, it was almost like a war zone. You're running by. I mean, did you see people getting shot or no?
I did not witness a bullet penetrate anybody.
Thank God. Thank God.
I saw people walking up in this one area that Chris and I were at, the second place that we were hiding. There were people that were walking in that had been shot. We asked them if they were okay. There was one girl that said, I've been shot in the arm. Her friend was like, I got my finger in her. I got the tourniquet on. So we actually were, at least at that point, assessing the situation. We started pulling out like these risers that you step on to elevate yourself above a bar. There was probably about 5 or 6 of them because, like I said, there was a partition in the front, so if you were to shoot us from the front, we were okay, but nothing covering us up on the top. So we were covered from the front, covered from the back with the bar, but nothing from the top. So we started pulling out all these risers and sticking them over the front barrier table or whatever it was that was protecting us from the front, so that when he started shooting the rounds, we could lift these risers up over our head, and anybody else that was...
Before anybody formulates an opinion, we'll get to this point, but the 3 of us, post-event, provided our nursing services, post-event, at the hotel when we got out.
That was very...
very
What hotel did you end up helping out at?
Well, we ended up running to Hooters. That was the closest one.
Hooters was fantastic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So I'm out in the parking lot, and I just want to know where Chris and Samantha were. Called one time, no answer. Called both of them. So I started to enter back into the festival to look for them because I was just sick.
Yeah. So at this point, you've lost them. You've got to be freaking out because you can't find them, right, Kelly?
That's why I was attempting to re-enter the festival to find them or find something to get answers. But then when I saw police officers still tucked down behind their vehicles with assault rifles pulled and pointed, I said, I don't think this is a secure scene yet. I probably should get the heck back out of here. So I did, and then when I got back out, they called and notified me that they were okay. Wow. And then we met up at Hooters. And Hooters was great. In Hooters, we met up in the laundry room in the basement. And they had us get out of the basement. And then when we went up to the lobby, they asked if there was anybody who had medical experience. And that's when I volunteered to go out to the staging area to help. And the chief out there wanted to see my credentials. I didn't have any, but he just believed me. I told him where I was from, what I did. He just believed me. He says, here's some gloves. We're going to be bringing you some bodies. But they didn't bring any. None showed up.
Okay.
And I'll let you Samantha and Chris, they provided their own unique nursing service. And I'll let Samantha explain.
Samantha, what did you do?
Mostly just there was a lot of panicked people. Obviously, we were one of them, and we just, grabbing people as we exited. We were in that second area that we were hiding. made the girl that had her finger in the hole, her friend was okay. When the next round, the last round apparently stopped, we just kind of waited because we were waiting to see if there was another round, what was going on. We just sat there, and it wasn't very long before someone came along, and I wasn't sure if it was an event person, just a lay person. They were like, they want you out, and of course we're like, who wants us out? Like, I don't want to go anywhere. At this point we didn't necessarily feel safe, but we weren't, there was,
I mean,
nonetheless.
How long did it feel? I mean, it either could have felt short or like 100 years. I mean, did it just feel like it was forever that this thing went on?
When you get up to run for your life, it is like slow motion, and you cannot get enough yardage in front of you to go anywhere, no matter how much power you put into it. I just can't even explain.
Rusty, this guy probably fired. If they said he had 100-round clips, there was probably 800.
Wow.
800 rounds fired.
Are you a guy that? Are you a gun guy? Do you know guns, Kelly?
No, I'm not. I save lives. And I'm not saying that all guns are bad and kill people. Don't formulate your opinion.
Right.
I'm a nurse, and I feel I don't need to own a gun.
Okay.
That's just I don't, and nothing against them, but what I'm trying to say is, I calculate probably 800 shots, and do the math. 527 people injured, 59 dead. Wow. So that's 77. That's 586 people he hit out of 800 shots, roughly. Wow. That's a pretty high percentage, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not a firearm dude.
I mean, you got 40,000 people that can't see where you're shooting from, and you got a machine gun. I'm guessing, it's fish in a barrel, like they'd say. Awful.
Well, and the other thing too, not knowing where the shots were coming from, we're all sitting down in one area. We were totally perfect targets. If you look at the trajectory that they have on USA Today, and they have that red arrow pointing from the Mandalay Bay down to the venue, it was literally right where we were at. And I'm thankful that we all yelled, get down, and no one moved, because if you also look at the video during those first two rounds, the people on it kind of gave this like calculated, smooth flowing time for the people that were on the outer edge that could run without trampling over everyone. It gave them the opportunity to kind of clear that area, so that when we did decide to run, there was a little bit more area and room to run to without the quantity of people that were there originally, I guess.
Right. Did you learn anything about yourself, Kelly? I know when I texted with you earlier today, you seem pretty shaken up. How you doing?
I kind of think I can keep my stuff together in life, but I got pushed to my limits. I'm having a hard time. I have such mixed emotions. I'm angry. I'm confused. I'm grateful. And I'm the thing that replays in my head over and over, Rusty, is laying down on that ground, not knowing where the bullets are coming from, hearing so many of them, just waiting. When am I going to get hit? When's the next one going to hit me? And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. The three of us, in our own unique ways, some power up there greater than us, allowed each of us to have an idea and implemented that idea individually, one at a time, and got us out of there safe. They told me to stay down low. Sam and Chris saved my butt there. I said, let's get up and run after this next pause, and let's jump over this walking bar. And I think got us out of there in time, because he was still going to shoot people laying on the ground. And then Chris had her role with Sam just after that. So,
how about you, Samantha? What is it that what are you remembering that's really touching your heart?
I think it's a lot to process. It's just a lot to process, because you're just like, I can't, it's all unreal. The whole event itself, I am so grateful that I'm here. There were so many events that took place before I even got to the concert that I may not have even been there, so there obviously is some purpose.
All I could think about was holding Samantha's hand and making sure she gets out. And she was holding Chris's hand to make sure she gets out okay. And all I could think about is Samantha, her family, her grandkids, and I just didn't know what I can do. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
So a lot of instinct kicked in. And there's no rhyme and reason why we're standing here today.
No.
There isn't. Like I said, when we stood up, within 10 feet of us, there was carnage.
Kelly Johnson is here. Samantha is here as well. They were at the Route 91 concert. Matter of fact, you have a special hat on right now. You bought the hat, but you've kind of done something special to it, haven't you, Kelly?
Well, yeah, I put the black band through it. This is this is another thing I haven't quite processed yet. So saddened by the loss of life, and I need some help on this because I haven't reached that point where I'm trying to deal with me right now, and I kind of forgot all these people that have died and got hurt, and I'm like, what's going on with me? Why in the heck am I mean, so I don't know where I'm at. I mean, I'm all over the place.
In what way? You say you don't know where you're at. What do you mean?
Well, shouldn't I be more concerned about the people that died than my own well-being? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why I'm pretty hard on myself.
Yeah.
I guess.
You're okay.
But,
you're okay. You're okay.
But I think it's a grief process, and I will get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very saddened, but I will get there.
Yeah.
There's many stages of grief, and I know we all go through them differently.
Are you watching this stuff nonstop on television news, or are you like staying away from it because you just don't want to hear about it?
Initially we stayed away from it. We were locked in the Hooters hotel for probably about 8 hours after the incident, before the lockdown was done. We didn't watch anything. We were in contact with family and friends who were giving us updates. Don't move. They think there's another shooter. They think there's more than one shooter. The other hearsay was that there was a shooter at New York. There was a shooter at Caesars. So in our mind, Chris and I were in the bathroom in the girls' bathroom because there's concrete walls. Kelly's standing right outside the girls' bathroom so that if someone did break in, come shooting, he could run in with us. We could all again hide together. There was also an emergency exit door right around the corner from where we were at, easily accessible.
There have been a lot of comments directed to you guys. Just a couple of things. Nicholas writes, Kelly, you have survivor's remorse. You will survive. You will live on. I'm praying for you. Don't feel guilty. Matthew says, you're in shock, dude. It's okay. Another person, incredible story. We're so glad you all made it out safely. Sorry you had to experience this type of violence from an obviously deranged person. Couple people mad at me for asking you the question if you'd seen anybody shot. So if that was inappropriate, I apologize, but I thought that everybody's probably going to ask you that question for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Jamie says, this is so upsetting. Sarah says, I can't even imagine this. Jeff says, wow, prayers for all. Scott says, this is crazy. Don says, oh my God, I can't even imagine this. You're all just lucky and blessed. Kring says, I hope America is stronger now. More Las Vegas, silent, calm again. God is good. God bless you all. Amen. And so on and so forth. Are you guys political at all? I mean, there's a lot of people that think that this may be a guy that was a Antifa supporter, a far left-wing guy, that there's been so much in the news that right-wingers are Nazis, that it's okay to start shooting them because they must all be country music fans. Are you guys political at all?
I am not political. And, the one thing that I am holding on to through all of this, and I will hold on to for the rest of my life, is, despite this act, despite one person, this was a white person, no colors, a white person shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
An old guy, some old guy that gambles. Something happened in his life that he felt that he needed to do this for some reason, his motive, whatever. And I will not let that ruin me to think that because of him, everyone is bad. Because that is just not something that I will let him win because of his act.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Kelly?
I just can't. I just don't understand why anybody would even bring political into this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is no Republican, Democrat. We're all flipping Americans, and we got shot at by another American. I mean, politics is the furthest thing from my flipping mind right now. All I know is Las Vegas policemen did their best and knocked him out fast. The city of Las Vegas, EMS, ambulance, hospitals, only one person has died that came to the hospital alive.
Is that right?
Because they pulled life support today. Only one. If you walked in the hospital alive, yesterday the comment was, if you walked in the hospital alive, you're still alive today. But today they had to pull life support. Okay? This was an American come together act. I mean, it was just there's no color. The only color that was bad was the red.
Mm-hmm.
The blood. Nothing political here. That's my opinion.
No, I think you're 100% right. And Kelly and Samantha, first of all, I want to thank you for sharing your story to the millions of people watching tonight. I don't know how I would have handled it. I'm sure everybody else is going, God, I don't know what I would have done. You guys made it. You're survivors. Kelly, I know you're kind of going, gosh, why me? But you did. And
why am I here today?
Yeah.
Why am I standing here? I have no idea.
Well,
it just doesn't make sense.
Maybe you've got some more lives to save, my friend.
I'm running out. But Rusty, it's so nice to see you be so successful, and really appreciate you allowing me to share my story, because I think that's part of the healing process I need. And I think that's why Sam, too, wanted to share her story, because we need to heal. I mean, we're hurting, and we're hurting, and we're nurses. We know we have been impacted mentally.
I mean, you've seen, as nurses, I mean, you guys have seen trauma before. You've lived through it and helped other people, but it's never happened to you, right? That's the freaky thing here.
Right.
Right. But we were all ready to help when we got out.
I have no doubt.
Post scene, we were there, ready to go.
And we were grabbing people as we were exiting the venue. When Chris and I left the exit, we turned to the left as the very last exit, I should say. When we turned, there was actually, I think it really set in as well, when there was 10 cops lined up at least just on that one side with guns in their hands waiting. None of them had gone in yet because it wasn't safe. They themselves didn't know where the guy was shooting from or how many there were. So,
Right.
You know, my memory's starting to come back, and now there was one gal in the parking lot that had gotten shot, and I offered my assistance, and she wasn't bleeding. The guy was sticking his finger up her bullet wound.
Oh my gosh.
And I made sure she was alert, oriented, and intact, and then and I'm sure she did okay. I think she got shot in the buttocks, actually, and but that was my first opportunity to really, with a clear head, check on someone.
Wow.
So things are starting to piece together.
Again, I'm so sorry. There's been a couple more comments here. Dawn says, keep talking about your feelings. Your friends and family are there for you. Sherry says, you're in shock. Mike says, God bless you too. Cody says, I'm very glad you guys made it. I wasn't there. I still don't know how to feel. Stay strong. Kay says, just keep talking it out. God bless you. Gary says, God is with you too and with everyone. Catherine says, prayers for you too. So glad you made it. You will be okay. Kelly says, awful experience to go through. I'm glad you're safe. Jane says, heartbreaking. If you guys need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. Dawn says, yes, you made it. Kudos to Las Vegas PD. Cheryl, what an awful thing to happen. Prayers for all the victims. April, God has a reason for you. God bless you. Thank God you're still alive. Monica says, we love you, buddy. Get home soon. I'm guessing a lot of these are friends of yours.
I was just going to say these must be friends of ours.
That's great. That's awesome.
It's been really nice with the support that we've gotten from our family and friends just through Facebook and encouraging words and
It is, and
thoughts
they'll be there for us when we get back.
when we get home.
Well, I'm sure your friends are. Are you going to be home soon, or are you going to stay? They're about an hour away from me. I'm in North Phoenix. They're in South. I'm in the northwest part of Phoenix. They're in the southwest part of Phoenix. So about an hour or something away from each other. Are you going to be down in this area and kind of taking it easy for a while, or do you have to go back to work soon, or what's your plan?
We're gonna go to Grand Canyon tomorrow. They've never seen it, and then they fly out from Las Vegas on Thursday, and I'm gonna drive up with them. I'm gonna come back here and hang out with my sister and mom until next Wednesday, and then fly into Hawaii.
Wow. Okay. Well, good. You're going to pass right by my house tomorrow, so maybe we should see if we can get together or something. But guys, I'm so glad you made it. Everyone here is thankful that you told your story. We're thankful that you've survived, and we just really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Rusty.
All right. Well, let's. I'll talk to you off the air, and again,
tell everyone thank you for all the nice comments on there, and the wisdom. Yeah, it's something I'm probably still in shock, and I really don't know it.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. That's going to help me. Whoever sent that message, I appreciate it, and I will embrace that. I probably am and don't even know it.
Yeah, Tom says he's a Vietnam veteran. He says you really should talk to somebody.
We have plans. Our work is actually helping to set up some stuff for us. So
Awesome. All right, Kelly Johnson. We didn't get your last name, Samantha. I don't know if you want to let people know what it is.
McFarland.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. God bless you, and let's stay in touch. Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank you
Rusty.
very
Thank
much.
you, guys. Bye-bye. God bless you. Bye-bye. Wow, what an incredible story. And I don't know what I would have done. Do you? Lori says, God bless you all. Dawn says, thank you for sharing your story and thanks for bringing it live. Thank you, Dawn. I was up there yesterday, stood right in front of the hotel, and it is a lot different. I can tell you, it's a lot different now that I go. A guy I went to elementary school was there. Oh my gosh! I mean, I've known Kelly Johnson. I haven't talked to him since he graduated a year ahead of me. But I've known him since I was 4. They've started releasing some video. I don't know if you've seen this. I want to play you just a little bit of it so you can see a little bit more of what has happened, what we have found out about the shooter and the sniper in Las Vegas. Here's what we found out here. Footage shows a glimpse into Las Vegas shooter's hotel room from the hallway. I'm not going to say his name. He was positioned on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Investigators found an arsenal of 23 firearms and a sledgehammer used to smash the hotel room windows out. Police blew the hotel door off 72 minutes after the first 911 call was made. The murderer was found dead inside. Oh my gosh. The security camera footage shows the Las Vegas shooter in the Cosmopolitan, where he appears to slip and fall. Didn't look very... He was treated for his injuries. Later sued for negligence, blaming his fall on liquid on the floor. He lost the case.
He was described as being slovenly, not well kept. He was somewhat evasive in his answers. He was not combative. This is not a guy that I would have looked at and thought he's going to commit a crime someday.
Okay. Victims of the Las Vegas shooting share their stories of survival.
I really feel like I owe my life to a couple of girls. They grabbed me by the legs. They dragged me over to the side and took her belt off and put a tourniquet on my leg. And grabbed a couple guys next to them and said, you will carry him out of here.
Right now, we need your truck. We just need to get people over to the hospital, okay?
Some savior in a pickup truck came and said, do we need a ride? I said, yeah. We threw them all in the bed of the truck and we took off to the hospital. It could have been a whole different night if he wasn't there when he was.
But there's so many people that stayed with the wounded, you know. You didn't know who they were, or they stayed, so there's a lot of heroes out there.
I look back and I seen a lot of people fall, so I ran over there, helped them up, and I said, come on, let's go. But like I said, I'm really not a hero. I just helped out people. Didn't matter what they were. We were there for music.
All right, so that was some of the stories that people have been talking about. There's nothing I can say to add to that. There's nothing. You know, when I was there, I stayed at the Tropicana last night, which is right next to where everything happened. I walked around the area where they'd let you walk, or they have the media across the street, half mile from the venue, and across the street, 3/4 of a mile from Mandalay Bay. North, just across the street from the Tropicana, is MGM. And I walked in there, and you could see employees were upset, but the guests, partying it up. There was a group of about 10 people playing beer pong. Woo! Couldn't have been more excited. Couldn't have been happier. Just throwing ball, drinking it down, chug, 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 chug. And didn't have a care in the world. And less than a mile away, were these people, where all this happened. I don't know, maybe you look at it and say, it's a good thing we can move on. I've had a hard time with this. Certainly nothing like Kelly and Samantha. I agree with them. We do need to keep politics out of this. Nicholas says, I find it hateful that so many politicians are trying to get glory and push agendas. They are like those beer pong players. Yes. Greg says, this is what America should be, people helping one another. It's a shame that it takes this type of tragedy for it to happen. Rye says, it's true bravery at its best to all that help the injured. Cheryl talking about the people that helped the injured. They're awesome. I agree. I am sick and tired. I am angry, and I'm fed up with politicians who use disasters for their own benefit. Enough is enough, you SOBs. We need to calm the rhetoric down. You need to stop pointing fingers. You need to stop saying everybody that voted for Donald Trump is a Nazi. You know it's not true. You need to stop saying that everybody that voted for Donald Trump is a racist or a hater or a member of the Klan or any of these other damn things you put up there. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. I don't know if this is why that guy went off or if it was some other reason. But if it wasn't this guy, it's going to be somebody else. When you tell everybody, well, everybody on that side, they're Nazis, and it's okay to go beat them up. It's okay to go punch them. It's okay to call them Nazis. It's okay to say that they hate everybody. It's okay to say they're a bunch of racists. What the hell do you think is going to happen? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's got to stop. Our republic can't survive much longer with these political bastards trying to pull us apart. It's got to stop. And I pray that these 59 people who were murdered, that maybe that's the sacrifice that these people need. God forbid. Has not enough blood been shed? Has not enough blood been shed? Please, stop it. Stop it. I'm done. I'm done. I don't have anything else to say. I can't add. I just ask you to join me in praying for our country. Praying for those who lost their lives. Praying for people. I mean, Kelly and Samantha, they didn't get injured. But they're hurting bad. And there's 40,000 other people who were there with them. So please pray for their healing of the families, and the healing of our country. I'm done. I thank you very much. May God bless you. May God bless America. Here every night, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West. You can find the podcast, The Rusty Humphries Rebellion, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all those places. I'm not here to push anything tonight. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow here in The Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Hopefully something better to talk about.